Jenny Eagle, reporter for Leah, and I'm here with Victoria Badnell, technical sales for MGF. Victoria, you're launching a week of activities to celebrate women in construction. Tell me how that came about.
Women in construction has always been around, and it links into International Women's Day, which is the last day of the week. We as a business celebrate it through lots of different channels through social media, particularly through our LinkedIn. And it's all about celebrating all the women within MGF and our different roles within the business. So it's really important for us to share those journeys with the wider business and, most importantly, construction, to encourage more women to join.
And what kind of activities will you be hosting? What are the dates of Women in Construction?
So we kick the week off with Meet the Women within MGF, and that's all about us as women within our roles within the business, where we started, how we've run through our roles, where we've gone from to where we are now. Wednesday, we'll kick off with Women into Construction charity, joint venture with them. And Thursday, actually, is World Book Day. So we're taking it back a bit personal. And what we're going to do is share our current reads. Some of us read regularly, some of us listen to audiobooks. And we think it's important to share that back to well-being and our personal lives as well, because that's as important as anything. And then we finish on Friday, which is International Women's Day, with a podcast. And there's 3 of us on the podcast talking about our journeys with MGF, our journeys personally, and how as women we think about things differently to men in construction, and how that has its own benefits as well. So there are women that are in operational roles, yard roles, sales support roles, transport. So we sit within the whole of the business, and that's really important to share those journeys as a whole.
And what words of wisdom do you have for anybody out there that wants to join this industry?
Well, that's a really good question. So I've got 3 nieces, and they are my world, I suppose. And I would love them to kind of maybe step into their auntie's footsteps in some way or form along the way. I think my words to wisdom is don't be afraid. Just go for it, do it. Never be afraid to ask the question either, because we never know everything. We can't know everything. And there's always somebody out there that's willing to share. And I think that's really important. I think working with people like Leah is key for that. There's always somebody there that can share something that you don't know. And I think as we grow as people and our knowledge grows, it's important to remember to share it on as well. So yeah, I think my words of wisdom are just go for it. Always go for it, because you just never know where you'll end up.
And how long have you worked in this industry? And tell me about MGF.
So I've worked in this industry, lifting safety, for 14 years. I started in a sales admin role and just grown from there, really. My journey started with MGF just over 12 months ago. I've worked with them for a long time, but actually stepped into the foothold of working for them. And it's a great journey. MGF at its core is a family-owned business within shoring and construction for many years, and lifting came into that. It's always been in the business, but really came into its own about 3.5 years ago, off the drive of our own customer base really asking us to provide more for them. And that's when our journey with Leah started, and that's kind of grown from strength to strength really. And it's important that we share that information through the likes of Leah themselves, through Women in Construction Week, and just generally communicating with our customers that it's really important to grow that journey as a whole business.
And do you have many female employees within the company?
Yeah, we have loads. So we have, I think I've touched on it, we have women in our transport, we have women on our hire desk, we have women on our ops in the yard, we've got regional managers, we've got salespeople, sales support. So the women sit within the whole of the business, which is really important. And as a business, we encourage it. One of the girls has worked here for nearly 14 years. She started as a cleaner and worked her way up, and now she's in a sales role. And there's loads of women in this business with loads of different skill sets that we can all kind of talk to, discuss, chat. We've got women in marketing. Our people director is a lady as well. So they're all across the business from top to bottom, and that's really important.
This isn't the first time you've celebrated this event, is it?
No, we've celebrated it for a good few years now. We've talked about it, and I think it's important to talk about how women think differently, feel differently, look at things differently to men as well. And that's important as well. So sharing those understandings, we kind of talk about in the podcast things that affect us as women differently, our feelings, our thoughts, hormones, menopause, because they're really important, and they're really important for the industry to understand as well.
And I believe it's connected to a charity as well.
Yeah, so Women into Construction, which is a UK charity, which MGF are looking to do a little bit more work with going forward. And we've kind of always celebrated it just ourselves. So now that we can work alongside a charity, that's really important too. It means that we can encourage other women, young girls from school as well, not just young women kind of getting into the foothold of construction. So starting young.
Yeah, it's great to get the word out. Well, thank you very much for your time today. And it's a
Oh,
fantastic initiative.
Thanks, Jenny.